Hello there. Welcome back to Sylvia's Essentials Makeup Tips for the Blind. It's great to be back. I have been very busy outside of home, and you could say some volunteer stuff I've been doing, and I'm still doing that around some other things that I'm doing outside the home as well. But how's everyone going? How's everyone doing? So I am back up here today to do a cooking video, baking, how to learn to bake a roasted chicken. And this is how I do it. It's, fairly simple, easy, and you can make it fun to do as well. All right, hopefully the camera's on me. So anyways, if you like this video, please push the like button and subscribe. All right, I appreciate that. All right, so I got my stuff laying here. I'm going to do some chopping to prepare it, to put in it. Then I'm going to season it. So I'm going to adjust my camera now. All right, hold on a second. This is so you can see what I'm doing. All right, let me go back this way. Hold on a second. I've had this issue before with the tripod to just get it just right. All right, well, that's the best where I can get it right now to show you what I'm doing. All right. All right, so I have my chicken here. It's a whole chicken. And please forgive my nails. I got to get them done tomorrow. I was doing some cleaning in the bathroom yesterday and some chemical. I didn't know it was going to mess with my nails like this. So anyways, got one whole chicken here. And now I'm going to chop up some vegetables. So what I got here is, if you can see that, I got a little bit of sage. I got some celery. I'm going to chop up some onion and some garlic. All right. So I'm just using a little bit of sage. And I rinsed it off, so it's a little damp. So I'm just slicing it here. Fine. Shredded. Okay. Like I say, you don't need a whole lot of sage. A little bit of sage goes a long ways. I love the fragrance of sage, especially when you're cooking. Now, my hands are clean. I just washed them before this video. And what I'm going to do is put this stuff right in the cavity neck of the chicken. Like I said, chicken's been washed. I actually soaked it almost non-frozen for about 30 minutes. Okay, I'm just gonna put that in there, right in that hole of the cavity. Now I'm gonna chop up my celery, then slices. So I got like one whole celery stick, but I have it cut in half. And the reason why is I'm trying to determine if I want to use this whole celery. that in there. Switch that in there. You know what? I don't think I'll need to use both of these. I think 1/2 of this celery is enough. Yeah, 1/2 is enough. So I'm gonna set this aside. Just getting what's off my plate here. And yes, I do use a plate than a cutting board. And the reason why is because I don't want to deal with a cutting board. But if you use a clean plate, it does the same thing. Next, I'm gonna dice some onion. I got some white onion here. And it has been at the bottom of my fridge. So I'm gonna cut the outside of this off. And I'm gonna use more of the center because, like I said, it's been sitting in my fridge for a minute. All right, so I just want to use more of the center of the onion. And always make sure out there when you're blind to please be careful using a knife. It is better to use a sharper knife when it comes to dicing and stuff. Just be careful. All right, some of this. Hold on, I'm gonna throw this away. Trash is behind the camera. Okay, so I got my onion pieces here. What I'm doing is making sure I keep my fingers out of the way. I'm starting from one end of this piece of onion that I separated, and I'm doing it in long strips, like horizontal strips. And then I'm gonna go back to the right, and I'm rough chopping, or dicing, I guess you could say, more. So then rough chopping all the way back to the left. And I do have my oven preheated to 350, so oven's ready to go. Now I like a lot of onions, so I'm gonna use a little bit more. Let me put this to the side. Don't need that. So I'm gonna use a little more onion here. The reason why I'm able to chop like I do is because I've been doing this a long time. I've been doing this a long time, dicing. So after a while, if you're not familiar with dicing much in the kitchen, it gets easier. Just always remember to be aware of where your fingers are. And remember, always clean hands. Especially when we're blind or partially sighted, is because, like I said in one of my makeup videos, it's better for us to just feel with our hands. But as long as our hands are clean, then that's fine. All right, so I have about this much onion, and put this in there. Get it inside that cavity there. And you also want to have some onion to put on the outside of your roasted chicken. Around between the wings area there. Just lay it on top. Because when it starts roasting, you're going to have that flavor right between the drumsticks or the legs as well. Just right in there. Not the wings, I'm sorry. I meant to say the legs of the chicken. But you want to make sure you have enough inside as well. So I'm just gonna take this plate and scoop it out around it there. All right. Hold on, let me get a paper towel. Be right back. Let me put the rest of this onion back in the refrigerator so I don't forget that I leave it out. Okay, now I'm gonna dice my garlic. I have 2 cloves of garlic here that I'm gonna use, and I'm gonna take off the paper. So what I'm doing is I'm slicing across the top of the garlic, and I'm pretty sure not everybody's able to do this, but because I do have some nails, I'm just peeling the outer part of the garlic off. I know there's different ways people take off the outer part of the garlic, but I just do that, you know. All right. Just put a piece of garlic. Two cloves of garlic might seem like a lot, but really it's not. It's all gonna enhance the flavor of your roasted chicken. Believe me. You want your chicken to be flavorful. All right, let me throw this away. Go behind the camera again. Okay. Just getting this garlic paper out of here. Sticks to your hands, your fingers as well. And I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna do vertical with this garlic. And the thing is, you don't have to really break this garlic down into small. You can just do like horizontal, thin slices as you can get it. Because it's still garlic and it's still all gonna be the same. All right, so let me get this in there. And the other one, hold on. If you're low vision or even sighted out there, I'm sorry if you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm explaining. But I believe I got the camera pretty close. All right, put some more in there. And then what's left over, like the onion, we're gonna put that on the outside between the legs. Same thing. Okay. And don't worry if you get it under the pan or your baking dish, roasting pan or whatever. And the reason why is because we're going to add some liquid to this, which we're going to use for basting. And I'll explain about that. Just making sure dice my garlic here. You know, you go to places like Walmart and places like that, they have, as you know, a garlic roasted chicken that you can buy already cooked. And I have had it and it is good, but it's nothing like baking your own. I'm telling you, nothing like baking your own. All right, let me put this aside. I'll be right back. Wash my hands. Scrubbing it with Dawn dish soap and warm water. Help get the garlic off your hands. And if you're using your hands, you might want to scrub your fingers together, palms together, your fingers together, a couple of times with your dish soap and just let it rinse. Just let your hand rinse so it can help with the garlic. But I know garlic can be strong. Alright, dry my hands. Alright, now I'm going to get actually a coffee mug. Because I'm going to use this amount for water. So I'm going to have this ready. I'm going to set this, I'll set it on my counter over here for a minute. All right, now we're going to season it. And what I have here is pink Himalayan salt that I get from the health food store. And I got a plastic tablespoon here, and I'm going to make it rounded in my bag here. Or you can just pinch and use your fingers. And you know what? I think that's what I'll do, because for me, being visually impaired, it would be easier for me to feel. Okay, I got clean hands. Sorry, I don't mean to block the camera there. I got a pinch. And then I'm going to take my other hand, lightly feel where the top of the chicken is. And I'm just going to lightly dust this salt. The hand that I'm using to touch the chicken, if you're doing it this way, please don't touch the inside of your salt with the raw chicken, because you don't want to contaminate where you have your salt. So I'm just feeling with my right hand where my bag of salt is. I'm going to make sure I get the legs really good on both sides. You don't want too much, just a pinch. We don't want our chicken overly salty either. And I feel that I need a little bit more salt here in the back. All right, let me set this here for a minute. I'm gonna wash my hand, be right back. It's a lot. It's some hand washing during this process if you're using your hands, but it's all good, you know. because you're feeling what you're doing, and you can always wash your hands, you know. Next season I'm going to use is some grounded black pepper. Feeling where my pan is, so I have an idea where the chicken is. Just feeling with my hand, make sure I stay inside the pan where the chicken is. Since I'm grating, just want to make sure you get it covered. All right. And even though I used fresh onion, I'm going to use a little onion powder. Just a little bit. Just help with that flavor. All right. And that's all I'm using for seasoning. Salt of your choice, or pink Himalayan salt, black pepper, and a little bit of onion powder. And if you want to also add a little garlic powder extra too, you can do that as well. Or you can even add some turmeric if you like turmeric. Turmeric goes good on chicken as well. All right, so let me put the water in. So you always want to make sure you want to add a cup of water to the bottom of your pan. You might even want to use a cup and a half, and then you want to just tilt it back and forth to make sure that water distributes at the bottom, because you're going to use this water for basting. Okay? Basting is important when you're roasting a chicken. It keeps it from drying out. I'm going to use another half a cup of water. I just want to make sure it has enough to boil on in the oven. So I'd say about a cup and a half to start out. So we're going to bake this on 350 for an hour. Let's say an hour to 20 minutes. Okay? After the first 30 minutes, you want to take it out of the oven and baste it with your baster and squeeze the water from the bottom of the pan, the juices, all over the chicken and in the crevices. Like between the legs of the chicken and the thigh and the back of it and the wings. You just want to make sure you cover everything with the juice. And then when it's almost done, I'd say after another 30 minutes, you want to baste it one more time. And you might even want to add another cup of water at this point. Within that hour, after that hour, you want to add another cup of water. All right, and then you can either baste it off of that or the older juice, but just make sure you add another cup of water after 1 hour, so it has something to roast in for another 20 minutes. And also it depends on what size bird you have. This is, I would say, more of a medium small chicken, so an hour and 20 minutes. Or you could even do it for 2 hours. And what you would do after 1 hour is, if you have someone there to help you, or if you have a way of using a face scanner on your phone or something to see the temperature on your stove for the last, after 1 hour, then if you want to roast it for another hour, I would suggest to turn it down to 320 on your temperature. Okay, but if you want it a little faster, for this size, I would do 1 hour and 20 minutes, or even an hour and 30 minutes. I might Just let this bake for an hour and 30 minutes after I baste it a second time. But like I said, if it's a bigger bird, you know, you could do the 350, but just after 1 hour, like I said, just let it roast for 320 for another hour, okay? All right, so, and another thing, if you don't have a baster, you know, the long baster with the squeezer on it, you could use a small measuring scoop cup, not plastic, and you know, your hard plastic or metal, and scoop it at the bottom and pour it over your chicken. You could do that as well, okay? All right, so we're gonna put this in the oven now. And what I want to show you here is I got through Blind Services here locally in my town. It's a long oven mitt for people that are low vision, so you don't burn your arm in the oven. And the thing is, this pan is kind of heavy, so I'm probably going to have to use a regular pot holder like this when I take it out in 1 hour to grip one side of it with my safety oven mitt. But since the pan is still cool, I'm going to put this in the oven, and we're going to hold on a second. I'm going to move my camera back a little bit since I'm done, so I can open my oven. Okay. Okay. And I have this on the top rack, just to let you know. And you don't have to have your rack way up at the top. I would at least have it 2 or 3 slots down in your oven, your top rack, okay? Let me adjust my camera here. All right.